Well, here we are. We made it to HTML forms. I just went over those with you in my demonstration, and in the spirit of full disclosure, I'm going to do a little update to this slide and say that the input for type button should also have a value attribute. I knew that was coming, but I wanted to keep the prior slide as simple as possible and not have too much going on there. If you can envision what these different input tags are for, these different HTML tags are for, and how they relate to each other, you've achieved a wonderful state of readiness for programming. So let's review. I want to review these questions with you, and then we're going to bring this chapter to a close. You should be comfortable with the following. Now, what's the difference between a regular HTML tag and a self-closing tag? And I've gone over that a number of times. You should be able to answer that for yourself. This next question might throw you a little bit, so I'm going to make sure I explain it well. Is div an inline element or a block level element? Now, that's a little bit tricky. So let me pull up an example here. Going all the way back to just using Notepad, a div tag, when I have multiple div tags, if I were to type that HTML into a HTML file and view it in a browser, what I would get would be A on top of B. That is to say, the content A, B, C, the content stacks on top of each other like blocks. So the answer would be a block level element. What would be the inline element? What would be the alternative to all that? Well, the alternative would be to use something like span A, span, right? And span B, and span C. If I were to type that into an HTML file and then open it up in a browser, I would see A, B, C, right? Because span is an inline element. That is to say, it does not have any sort of line break or blocking behavior implied. It just works inside the current line. So there's no, as far as HTML is concerned, there's really no difference between this and just straight up ABC, right? Same thing. Now you might choose to put in all those tags for some other reason, but for right now, just know that span is inline and div it has this blocking behavior. It's a block level tag. What HTML would I use to create the copyright symbol? That was in a prior slide. You want to go back and look for the HTML entities content to get the answer to that question. What's the difference between a semantic tag and a non-semantic tag? Well, you go all the way back to the document marking up text material there, and you'll find your answer to that question. When I mark up text, some tags just imply how the text should look, and other tags carry extra weight, extra meaning behind them. What's the difference between class and ID attributes? I've just gone over that. And I'm going to share with you a list of HTML essential tags. Here it is, right there. Now I'm going to put that into the description of the YouTube video. This gives you a PDF summary of everything we've gone through. These titles and tags should look familiar by now. I hope that's helpful to you. certainly there as a reference. So it is certainly time for a break. This was the longest chapter. You've done great. Please take a minute to like and subscribe. I appreciate your time and attention, and you've gotten through the hardest part. This was by far the hardest part of the HTML and CSS for Future Programmers content. So good job, and I will be talking to you soon.